Hi, guys. I can see several of you are already in the chat. So, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Welcome from Washington State and hiya, Poofy Puff. And I saw a question earlier. For some reason, I don't see it in the chat now, but I will answer that. So, the first question was about, and I've gotten this actually in my Instagram as well, about the ETIAS that's supposed to come into effect for Europe. It was supposed to come in May, and it was announced this week that they're pushing it back again. I don't know what the holdup is this time. Who knows? And the other question that person had was, could they use an American credit or debit card to tap into the public transportation? I haven't tried it yet. I have been using my Wise card when I've done it. It has not, and I've been using it on my phone. I'm assuming that it's going to take regular, because it's like Visa, MasterCard is what it says it takes. So I would assume that yes, it would take that. It still hasn't, I still haven't been on a bus yet that it works on. I've taken the bus a couple of times this week and I keep checking to see. And something interesting happened yesterday when I was getting on the bus. And this doesn't happen. I think this is the third time this has happened. It happens all the time on the metro, but they actually had one of the ticket checkers. So I literally had gotten on the bus, I had swiped my card, and they came over to check that I had like actually swiped it. So a lot of people get on the buses here in Athens and don't pay, and because they don't check that much. So it's interesting to see that. I don't know if they're going to be checking more. See if that is the case. If you're coming in now, let me know where you're coming from and let me know if you have any questions. Ivan has a question about Santorini, which I'm sure that lots of people do. Avoid it or okay to visit mid-October since the earthquake. It's really hard to say this far in advance, like how, what will be happening. As of right now, the earthquake swarm has died down. And so, in fact, they reopened the schools last week. So everything seems to be fine. So it's hard to say so far in advance. I haven't heard of any major damage. It's all just been super minor and they're monitoring everything. I know they've been checking the caldera quite a bit. So I would say, if you wanted to, if you're going to book something, if you're going to book your hotel, I would book it to make it where you have like up to a certain point to cancel, just in case. But if I wouldn't hesitate to go. Like if somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go to Santorini?" Not during the summer, like I would say, "Sure, yeah, I'd go." Like I would go tomorrow. It's calmed down quite a bit, and we have earthquakes here quite a bit actually. Apparently on Tuesday or Wednesday there was one in Ioannina, so it's pretty common, unfortunately. Have I visited Keithnos? I have. It has been quite a while, and I went in 2017, so it was quite a while ago. No, 2016. Oh my gosh, 9 years ago. Okay. It's pretty small. I mean, it's really quiet. I would not say it's a lot like Sifnos. Sifnos has a lot going on there, a lot of mountain village, not mountain, but more villages. Keithnos is really just like the port. And then there's a really nice little, tiny little like fishing village on the other side called Lutra that's really nice, but it's really, really quiet. And I don't think there's a bus on Keithnos. I probably think there were probably like 3 taxis. So, but of course, all of that could have changed. I haven't been in years. I really enjoyed it when I was there. But it's not easy to get to from Athens, so I haven't really done it. I kind of agree. They're doing this electronic entry system that's going to start supposedly this time of year, this year, and then 6 months after that starts, that's when the ETIA, I'm sure they're pronouncing it somehow, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. And I saw them installing those machines when I came back from Qatar. So in the 2 weeks that I came back from the US and then I left and came back, so like a month later, coming back from the US, they had started to install the electronic like passport system machines for the non-EU people. So that will be exciting. That I'm excited. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I mean they've been pretty efficient about getting people through the line, but both times that I've landed internationally in the last 2 months, the line is scary when you get there. Like 200 people deep, but they've had all the windows open. And then once the EU people go through, they've had people go. In fact, I went through the EU line, so and they were super friendly, or at least the woman I got, and I was like, "Well, this is a change." Oh, sorry, I missed one. Hi, Susan. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. And yeah, I don't do these very often, but I try to do a couple of years a year, and I haven't done one since when was that, guys? November? I think it was November. What island would I recommend for a couple of days in March? Most of the islands are pretty quiet in March, but I would probably say any of the bigger ones. So Syros, Corfu, Crete, Rhodes, Lesbos would probably be really nice as well. I'm not sure about Kos. It's a larger island, and I think they have some stuff going on, and it's further south, so at least the water, the water won't be warm, but the weather is probably a little bit better. Although today is beautiful and sunny here. So you're welcome, Jonathan. I'm so glad that that was helpful. Oh, well, you'll be fine if you're used to earthquakes because they're not very big here. I think the biggest one they had during the Santorini storm was 5.3, which of course is not a small earthquake, but it's not a big one. They actually thought that for it to be classified like as a not a big one, but one that would be like the what do they call that? When there's the one big earthquake and one is all the pre-shocks and then the aftershocks, they said it needed to be a 4 point, not 5.5, I think, and we never got to that. So, I have not been to Kithra. I have a friend who's been there. She really loved it. She did say the roads are a little bit like treacherous. They haven't been well maintained, but I have not been there yet, unfortunately. There's so many islands to see here. It's like constantly trying to decide, do I go somewhere new or do I go somewhere that I really like? And so, it's yeah, the main event. I'm not sure. What do they call that? Like when it's I don't know. Yeah, foreshocks and then the aftershocks. I don't know what they call the main earthquake. Okay. The person from Texas who knows about tornadoes and not earthquakes shouldn't speak about these things. How expensive are the top-notch hotels in a safe area? I'm assuming you mean here in Athens. They can range from a couple of €100 a night to thousands of euros a night. There was a very large protest last Friday for the terrible train accident that happened 2 years ago. And I really wanted to go down, but I don't really like big crowds. Like, it makes me panic just thinking about it. So, and it was predicted to be probably the largest protest that Greece has ever had. And I was trying to look if I could see if I could book one of the hotels around Sigtagma, and it was ridiculously expensive. Like, yeah, I was just like, no, I think I'm gonna have to like sit this one out and watch it on the TV. So yeah, it was kind of unfortunate that they're so expensive, but I've been in the lobby of one of them and it's really, really nice. But I don't know if you need a top-notch hotel in Greece. Like you're not gonna spend tons of time in your hotel. So I would say that it's probably best to find a safe neighborhood that you feel comfortable in and then pick the hotel, because you could spend a ton of money on a hotel. So, that's just my opinion. So, yeah. I don't think I got any other questions from my community posts. Sometimes they don't show my community posts when I'm promoting a video, and I was trying to like make sure that people saw the notification that I was doing this. So we'll see. So tipping etiquette here is so tipping isn't like a mandatory thing. Most people do tip at a restaurant. Um, it's not really expected. Like nobody's gonna chase after you if you don't leave a tip. I try to leave a couple of euros, depending on how many people there are, round up the bill, whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, um, it just, if you got amazing service, I would say leave a little bit more if you can. Like it's, um, taxi, same thing. If you feel like you need to, I don't always tip in a taxi, but if they've like made an effort to really get through traffic, or if they've like helped me with bags, anything like that, then I'll give them a euro too. So, and I usually use Uber, so that's um, pretty easy to do. So, um, the only thing about the Airbnb is if you've never been here and you need help, the Airbnb people are most likely not going to be around to help you because unfortunately they have to work as well as run as their Airbnb. So that's my only thing. Like if you think you're going to need help, like getting a taxi, or if you have never been here and you're really unsure, if you're not a seasoned traveler anywhere, not just in Greece, I don't recommend an Airbnb. I also had an Airbnb nightmare a few years ago where after about a day in the Airbnb, the electricity went out. And not because something happened, they didn't pay their bill. So it was going to take forever to get fixed. So those are kind of my caveats to Airbnb. It used to be great. Airbnb used to be amazing, and I don't use it anymore because I've heard so many horror stories, and now it's almost as expensive as a hotel. Oh, my top haven't visited, but one day. Oh boy, there are so many. I want to go to the island of Elefonisos. I can never remember because there's a city in Crete, and then there's an island south of Peloponnese. That's like one I really want to go to. I really want to go to Kimolos. That's high on my list. I actually, last summer, I did a lot of the small Cycladic islands, and I would like to go do those again. I found them to be very relaxing. I spent a lot of time at the beach, which I don't always do, but because the beaches weren't crowded, and it was July. So that was really amazing. And the people were super nice. Like they're not overwhelmed with tourists. So they not that other people aren't nice, but they're just not stressed as much. So I really want to go to Lesbos. Haven't been there yet. Let's see. I would like to go to Paxos, not on a sailboat, so I could actually spend some time on the island. I've always gone on a boat, and I've never really spent, I've spent like a day, like or a couple of hours. So that would be nice. But there's so many. Like I eventually would like to visit them all, but that might be difficult. I really want to do Crete, but I feel like I need weeks there, and I don't know if I can do it all in one go. I'm like, it may be a thing where I'm going to have to go multiple times. So we'll see. Thank you so much, Ivan. I really appreciate the super sticker that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will probably put it towards my Lai key tomorrow. You'll buy me some flowers. I've actually cut back on my coffee, crazy enough. When I was in Qatar for work, I was drinking copious amounts of coffee because I'd come back from the US, I was just getting over my jet lag, and then it changed times again, and I was already tired from all the travel, and my body was like, please do something. And so one day I drank so much coffee, I made myself sick. And so the next day I had enough to get me through, and then I realized that what was happening, and I think this is an age thing, the caffeine is actually, if I have too much caffeine, it makes me sleepy. So not fun. That's okay. I've adjusted. It really affected me though, because the day that I started doing that, I got a migraine and had a migraine for 4 or 5 days. I mean, it would come and go, but yeah, I think it was the caffeine withdrawal. So that was fun. See, I have a friend that lives there and she posts videos all the time on her Instagram. She's also a travel, she's actually like a tour guide. She has her own travel company. And every time she posts, I'm like, I need to go and visit. Like, it looks so amazing. It looks beautiful. They have so many like different areas of the island that looks so amazing. Yeah, Paxos is beautiful. It does get really crowded though. So maybe not in the summer. Maybe like May or September. Although I think September is probably still busy there. But yeah, and I actually have not finished Maestro yet, the Netflix TV show, the Greek TV show that, and I'm hopefully going to watch a few more episodes with a friend on Sunday. So I'm excited to get my Paxos fix because the episodes, they've been in Athens and now they're going back to Paxos for this. I think it's the trial. And so I'm super excited. Also I'm hoping that I understand more because we always watch it in Greek with English subtitles. And I'm hoping that because of all my Greek lessons that I'll understand more. So yes, I'm still taking Greek lessons. For those of you who are wondering, I go once a week. I missed last week because of my migraine, but I have such a great teacher. So that's been really, and I've met with him while I've been gone. So he's been great about meeting with me online. And I'm getting to the point where like I'm the sentence structure mostly I get it right. I don't know enough words to have like a conversation yet because I can only speak in present tense and I don't know enough words. So it's a little frustrating because I want to, but I can't. So thank you, AY. I can't put I think if I put your comment on the screen, it's going to cover my face because it's so long. Thank you. Sweeney Todd. Oh, and Paris Dairy. That's why I haven't been up there. I was like, where is that? I think I've only been to Paris Dairy once, and that was to go to a steak restaurant somebody took me to once there, which was interesting. It was really good. Yeah, Plamari, she lives in the middle of like between places. And I think Plamari is one of the places um that she lives near, but I'm not she's always there. But she's always in the main town too. So like it just looks like a tiny like it has so much of a city vibe. It's interesting. At least that's what I get based on her videos. So I just need to go and figure it out. Is there a farmers market in Theseo? I don't know. Um, there is a website called that is about the agoras. Let me go look. Hopefully this doesn't interrupt the live stream. I don't think it should. It's in Greek though. So let me see if I can find out for you. Because I'm curious to know too, because some neighborhoods don't have them. Um, hmm. It doesn't seem so, but I may not be searching it correctly. Uh, your best bet might be to go over to Petralona or Keramikos and see there. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can post the website. It won't. I mean, like I said, it's in Greek, but um, you can at least like use Google Translate to do a better search. I just don't want to do it right now when I'm on this. Oh wait, is that a map? No. I'm trying all my options, but it's really not helping me. Um, but I will link the website here. I'll try. Here we go. So it's pretty if you download Google Translate and go through it and search through it, you can probably find out what neighborhoods and what days, because obviously they're not all the same day. Like in Kukaki, it's on Fridays, and Kolonaki it's on Fridays, and Nios Cosmos it's on Saturday, and I think on Saturday it's also in Exarchia, I think. But there's more than that, but I just don't know them all. They usually open in May, like May 1st. I've walked past the Paris one in Plaka, and it's ready. They were open last year, but everything they were showing was a foreign movie, and so that means the subtitles in Greek. So like it was a French movie, but they had subtitles in Greek, so it didn't work out, unfortunately. But I want to go because they renovated it and the outside looks amazing. So the buses do not stop running. They are usually overnight. They'll get less, but the metro does stop running. Let's see, during the week, I think it's 11:30 or 12. And on the weekends, I think it's now, they changed it recently, and I can't remember what time it goes to now, but I think it's like 1:30. It does not run overnight, which just kind of blows my mind because I feel like Athens is pretty densely populated, and I can kind of see not running it overnight during the week, but on the weekends, I've done it. I have done the rush and run to the train. Like you get on one and you're trying to make the transfer so you can get on the train line home, like the last train. And there are people holding the train, like, and they're like, run, run, run. It's always fun, especially if you are slightly drunk. I am going to the parade on the 25th, but I will not be in Athens. I am going to be in Thessaloniki. So I am going up next in 2 weeks to go to Veria, which is a city in the north. It's like an hour and a half drive from Thessaloniki. And for the peach blossom festival, it's not, well, they're not having a festival. They kind of are having a festival, but I'm not going to be there at that time. But basically the blossoms are happening, kind of like the cherry blossoms in Japan. And so I'm going up there. And when I booked it, I realized that I would be, I have to leave from I'm flying to Thessaloniki. I'm like, well, why don't I just stay and go to the parade on the 25th? So, not sure about cod. I mean, I like cod, so maybe. And actually, I had a lot of fish when I was in Thessaloniki 2 years ago, and all the fish was really great. So probably, like, I'll make an effort to do that, or try to. But there are a couple of restaurants that we went to on that trip that were just amazing, and I'd like to go back to them because they were that good. Hello, Bill Clinton. So yeah, that's my plans for the end of March. So I'm doing the peach blossoms and then going to Thessaloniki. And believe it or not, this year I'm going to stay in Athens for Easter. I usually go somewhere, but I honestly, all this traveling this year that I've already done, I just have not. I'm so tired. I just can't keep doing it. So I wanted to go somewhere for Easter, but I really want to go out of the country in May, and both financially and to keep my sanity, I am not going to go anywhere for Easter. But like I haven't had the full Easter experience here in Athens. I haven't gone to go see the Epitaphos here or the candle. I've done the candles once, but I haven't been down to the main cathedral to do it and everything. So I figure I should do that this year and see. I am not a millionaire. Far from it. I wish I was. I mean, I think we all wish we were. I could do all the things I want to do and take care of my family, all the stuff we would like to do if we were. But no, not. I work a job, and believe it or not, YouTube doesn't pay that much. So I'm very lucky, though, that my job allows me to do both. So thank you, George. I appreciate that. Um, I don't know what the ferry schedule is like from Naxos to Crete, but if it's a smooth day, then it shouldn't be a problem. If you get on a high-speed ferry, just make sure it's a large one that has like cars, because those are less. They're a little more stable. And actually, the last couple of times that I have been on a fast ferry, they've been newer ones and they've been fine. Like they've been really calm. So, but if you think you're going to get seasick, I would go to the Greek pharmacy when you're here and ask them for something and just take something before you go. It's just not worth it. Um, you can look into flying. I'm not sure if Naxos to Crete, you have to go back to Athens or not, but um, if it's something that really, like, if you get seasick and you get, like, my mother gets seasick really bad, like, we can't, there's no way when she comes to visit that we can take a ferry. Like, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Um, I wouldn't even try. So it's not fun to be seasick. Like, I don't get seasick, but occasionally the weather has been really rough and like I haven't been well or whatever, and I've had it. It's miserable. So I have not. But I was actually watching somebody else's YouTube video the other day about going to Eastern European countries, and she talked about it, and it looked so beautiful. So yeah, the ferries are great. They're fast, safe, and so it's perfectly fine. It's just a matter of whether or not it's smooth. So yeah. You would have to message me on Instagram, and that may take me a few days to get back to you. So, because I'm not on there that often. So, oh, you have to go back to Athens. Maybe with Blue Star as well, but I'm assuming you've checked to see. Now, keep in mind, some of the ferry schedules for this year haven't come out yet. So, especially for, I think you said you're going to go in September, it may not be out yet. So, yeah. I haven't been. Wait, sorry, I thought that said one of the or another island. It depends on what you want to do and where you want to stay in Syros compared to. I mean, Spetses is tiny compared to Syros. There are no cars. I mean, there are cars, but only locals are allowed to have cars on Spetses. A lot of the beaches are like pebble beaches. There isn't a lot happening in the town. It's very peaceful. I really enjoyed it, but Syros is more like a city and there's more going on. But the beaches are further away, but there are buses on Syros that are pretty frequent, and there are lots of other cities to stay in besides the main one. So I guess it kind of depends. And oh, you asked about the winds. Not usually by June. A wind shouldn't be terrible, but it's hard to predict. Like, who knows? But usually on an island, you can always escape the wind somewhere. And actually, you want the wind to some degree because otherwise it's insanely hot. My best friends are in Nafplio and USC is also going to. In Nafplio, I definitely recommend going up to Salamini Fortress, whether you climb the 1,000 stairs or not. I did not. It's like this huge site. There's another castle ruin up there. Take the boat tour out to the little fortress in the bay. It wasn't open when I was there. Maybe it is now. They were like doing some maintenance on it. And then it didn't go there, but I met a woman in New York, ironically enough, last year, who runs or works at the costume museum there, like a folk, and it sounds like it's amazing. The pictures are amazing. So that I recommend. I don't know. Nafplio is just nice to walk around. It's a really beautiful city. So it's great for people watching. So that was nice. Have I been to Istanbul? Yes, I have. I went to Istanbul oh gosh, I don't remember now. Many years ago when I was living in Qatar. It's a great city. I mean, it's kind of like a lot like Athens. There are ruins everywhere. There's tons of things to see. the Topkapi Palace is you could spend days in there. Um, so yeah, it's a really great city. The bazaars are great, and there's more than one bazaar. Don't just go to the Grand Bazaar. There's the Blue Bazaar, and I thought that one was better. It's a little more pricey. Um, you know, uh, but yeah, that was like so long ago. So I don't like some of these things, things may have changed since I was there before. Um, so uh who knows what it's like now. So maybe somebody's in here who's been to Istanbul more recently than me and can tell you more. But I really enjoyed it, and the food was really great, obviously. I actually had a massage there at a hammam, and I felt like jello afterwards. And then I really wanted to go to sleep afterwards. So, any preference on airlines from the States to Greece? Not really. I mean, whatever fits your budget and your schedule, I would say go for. I always fly American, but that's because I'm from Dallas and that's where I fly to, and that's their hub. Um, so, I mean, I personally, I don't. Part of the reason I like it is because I don't do the transfer in the US. Because if I did the transfer in the US, I would have to go through immigration there and then go get my bag and recheck my bag. And I don't like doing that. Like, I don't want to have to touch my bag again until, until I get to Dallas. But that's just my personal preference. But yeah, I would say whatever fits your budget and the times that you want to go. Cause like, I don't care so much about there, although I do prefer to land in the afternoon, but I also prefer to land kind of late afternoon, early evening here, because I want to try to go to bed as soon as, not as soon as, but like be able to stay up till a decent hour here and then go to sleep. And so, I look at the times a lot of when I land. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. So, gosh, you guys have had some really great questions, and not just about Greece, which I, love Greece, but I always like hearing what other people are doing and planning and thinking about. So, I had asked in the community tab, I think it was last week, where everybody was going this year, and somebody is going to Japan. I'm so jealous. That's like right now, like my list of places I really want to go, like shuffle all the time. In Japan right now, it's like the top of the list. And so, but I know it's going to be expensive. And you can't just go for like a couple of days, because it's so far and there's so much to see. So, I'm going to have to start saving up my money, so that I can do that. So, yeah, we'll see. I may have to put out a lot more videos to pay for my trip to Japan. So, yeah, a lot of people like the direct flight. If there was a direct flight from Dallas, I would fly direct. I don't know how long that would be though. How long is that flight from Chicago to Greece? Um, my parents are thinking about coming, and they're thinking about coming on Delta and flying to Atlanta and then going from Atlanta to Athens in the summer because it goes direct. My cousins, who's married to a Greek man, that's what they do, because my parents don't really want to change, and they're older and they don't want to change outside the US because, well, it's just complicated for them. And so it's my thing is like 10 hours on a plane is as long as I want to do it one jaunt. So like I need the breakup. So we'll see. Actually, that's where I work. My job is technically in Qatar. It's an American university in Qatar, and I work there remotely, and I go once a year. So I go, this is the third year I've gone in a room. So it's been fun. I used to work, if you don't know, I used to live there. I lived there for 4 years and I loved it. So yeah. So it was nice to be back and see friends and my old coworkers. So they're still my coworkers. Thank you. Oh, me too. I loved making that video. It was a yummy photo, yummy video. I think I've lived abroad for so long that I don't know if I could do that anymore. Like, I used to live in New York City. Like, I used to live in a very fast-paced city, and now I don't enjoy that. Right after I moved out of New York, I moved to the Caribbean, and then I moved to New Orleans, and then to Texas again, and then I moved to the Middle East. And the Middle East is very laid back as well, and so I was already sort of adjusted as it was. So I don't have any recommendations. I've never stayed. Well, I've stayed in two, I guess. Well, no, I don't know, two. I don't love Airbnb, and here it's been kind of a nightmare. So um, I don't. My main thing is, and you probably missed it, is that if you need help of any kind, you may not be able to get it from an Airbnb person. A lot of people who run them here in Athens, they work other jobs, and so it's really hard for them to be like, "Oh yes, I can get you a taxi," or "Yes, you can do this." So that's my caveat with that. Like, now, some people don't need help from the hotel, right? Like, you've been here many times, or you just super savvy and you don't need it. Um, yeah, like I so when I go somewhere for Easter, I always try to stay in a hotel because I want to know when the local things are happening, and they're not always announced. And usually, like, those local hotels will know, or they can find out for me. And so an Airbnb person may not be able to do that for me. So yeah, I have not been, and right now I wouldn't go, but um, it's also too cold. But how would you fly direct? Like, you want to fly direct from the US? Yeah, Heathrow's a nightmare, but I do it so much that now I just kind of, well, first of all, I give myself like 3.5 to 4 hours in Heathrow, because otherwise it's a nightmare. I mean, the last two times I've gone through, well, on the time that I went to the States, it took me 30 minutes just at the security you have to go through between terminals. Just the security, not getting to it or doing anything, just security, because they put in new machines for bag scanning, and it took forever. It was ridiculous. So I have not. There's so many YouTube channels. I'll have to check them out. Oh, yeah. I think, it's just like usually the cost is like minimal difference, like from what I want to do and everything. So like I always fly premium economy because I know that at least on the way back, I'm gonna have an extra bag, and then I don't have to pay to book my seat. Like, by the time I pay for the bag and pay for my seats, I'm paying for a premium economy ticket anyway. So it just gives me a little bit more space and stuff. So I haven't been to Crete yet, Gary, but I want to go. But give yourself plenty of time. I would also say you probably need to rent a car because it's so big. And apparently the bus, like, not that it doesn't run, it just takes a long time to go from place to place. So, if you're going to go for a long time, I would maybe base yourself in one place for like 4 or 5 days and then move. It depends, you know, how you want to do it and how long you're going to go for, but like that's how I would do it. So, yeah. Never go through Hebrew again. I think most people feel that way. I have been doing it now for so long that I actually look forward to it. I know that sounds wild, but when I lived in Qatar, there is a direct flight from Qatar to Dallas, but like I said, 10 hours on a plane is like my limit, and the direct flight's 15 hours. And at some point, I was just like, I can't do it again. So, and I was always booking myself a economy ticket, or yeah, because Qatar Airways doesn't have premium economy. So I found out that I could actually spend just a bit more and have a layover in London and go on business. So then when I got to London, I could take a shower in the lounge. So I have my routine now. Like, I go, and no matter which terminal I'm going into first, or no, when I transfer, I always go to Pret a Manger and get a chicken basil avocado sandwich. and a chocolate mousse and coffee and water and sit and relax and enjoy that. And then I go make my way to my gate. Plus, the one thing that I hate about Heathrow, and I think apparently this is a lot of European airports, they don't announce your gate until like 10 minutes before they start boarding. So like you're just standing around staring, you're like glued to the board. And so you can't like go to the gate and relax, which kind of annoys me. I just want to go and sit and read and take my coffee with me. And Heathrow seats are so uncomfortable. During the pandemic, I did fly home when it was when most people weren't allowed. Like you couldn't get into Greece, you couldn't get into the US and all that. But of course, because I'm a resident here and I'm a US citizen, I could. And Heathrow was empty. Like it was like something out of like an apocalypse movie. But and I had like something ridiculously long layover because of course there was no one flying. And I just wanted to like lay down and sleep for a few hours, but all the seats have things and everything is like plastic. And of course, none of the lounges were open because it was COVID. And I was miserable by the end of that. So, but I hadn't seen my family in like 18 months at that point, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So, Athens is very safe. There are some areas that feel not safe just because of, Athens is very rough around the edges. So, like there's a lot of graffiti, there's a lot of rundown buildings, but it doesn't mean that it's unsafe. I've never had a problem here. Now, I'm also a city girl, so I may be more comfortable. So what I would do is, go out during the day, make sure you go, if you're comfortable, go to dinner at night somewhere near your hotel that you can walk back to easily. So that way you're more comfortable. But I would say in general, just use your common sense, make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Don't flash money and jewelry and stuff but no, I've never felt unsafe here and it's super safe. Stay in the main area, stay in the center. So Plaka, Singtagma, Kukaki, Kolonaki, Thesio, all those should be fine. So, and here's our recommendation. Pentelis' this place. So 10 days, that says something if you liked it for 10 days. So yeah. Crete, definitely recommend carpet. Go before summer. Yes, I think that spring on the Greek islands is usually amazing because there are flowers everywhere and the heat hasn't come and not everything is dead from the heat. So Frankfurt is really lucky, except Frankfurt is also a nightmare to navigate. I don't know. I've only been through there a couple of times, but I got confused because there are signs saying for gate this, go this way, but then there's a sign saying you can also go this way. And I think when I flew there the first time, I didn't know that I was going to have to go through security again. And I was like, oh my gosh. So now I'm used to it. So, don't really want to talk politics here. I don't think it's going to change my travel plans. I don't know why it would. Maybe you can elaborate, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to stop me from going to the US. My family is there. So, and it was fine. Like day to day, you don't really notice it. So, yeah. But no, in general, it's not going to change anything for me. Like in like travel plans, no. Everything else, it may, because they're talking about doing away with voting by mail, which that's how I vote. So, and my parents are very worried about their Social Security. So, anyway, it's a nightmare and I wish it wasn't happening. Let's just put it that way. So, and okay, you went 2 months to Crete. That's amazing. And did you just stay in Heraklion or did you move around? Because I'm sort of curious about that. Because I feel like I'd want to stay in multiple places, but maybe it was cheaper to stay in one place and just rent the car. Because sometimes that's the case. Like if you can go and stay in a place that's cheaper, then if you stay for longer, then it's better. A lot of times places, not so much in the summer, but if you can go like on the shoulder season or the off season, then they'll give you a better discount if you can stay for longer. So yes, I was. I was talking about this earlier. I wanted to go down, but I get kind of claustrophobic in big crowds, and so I wanted to go down, and I wanted to like get a hotel room so I could watch it and be present. But unfortunately, they were ridiculously expensive because everything around St. Tagma is very expensive to begin with. And actually, a lot of the stuff was sold out. I think a lot of people came in to go. So, and there was another demonstration last night because they were talking about the train crash in Parliament, and so they were. And actually, I was walking back from a book club last night, and I kept hearing what I thought were fireworks. I had forgotten that it was happening, and then I remembered, and so it got pretty wild. And that's another thing. Like, if you go to, not that I encourage it, just if you're not Greek, because I feel like if you're not Greek, you don't know what to expect. If you don't live here, I wouldn't go either. But you only go for like the first hour because then sometimes people who are not good people who come in and make trouble, and it can get dangerous. In fact, one time I wasn't even at a protest, and I was sitting in the Kolonaki Square. Got tear gassed. So it's not fun. It's not fun. It's fine. It goes away, but it's fun. Yes, I am as of my long-term plan in my brain, I am studying Greek so that I can take the Greek citizenship exam in a few years. So, so in Greece, you have to pass this big test, and obviously it's in Greek, and you have to take it's like an interview, like an oral interview. So that's the plan. So, which it will make it easier for not easier, but less complicated for me to stay. But also, if for some reason I decide that I don't want to be here anymore, then I could move to another EU country. Although I don't foresee that happening. I can't imagine learning another foreign language at my age. I mean, of course, I picked one of the harder ones. It's not the hardest one. I mean, Greek is not as hard as, say, like learning Arabic or Chinese or Japanese or Korean, where the alphabet is even more unfamiliar. So I saw it ranked once, and obviously it wasn't one of the hardest, but it's still up there. So, I can see myself making progress. It's just frustrating. Like, I want to have conversations with people. And the problem is too, is that Greeks, not all Greeks, but a lot of Greeks speak really fast. So I don't always understand what they're asking. Somebody asked me a question on the bus on Tuesday, and I had no idea what she asked me. I was like, I'm sorry. And I said to her in Greek, I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak much Greek. And then I don't know if she didn't know English or what, but she just like looked on, like moved on for me. Some people will say, oh, Anglica. And I'm like, oh, yes. And then they'll ask me their question. So it kind of just depends on their level, which I totally get. So if they speak slow enough and I can understand what they're asking, I try to answer in Greek. So it gives me some more practice. So yeah. I'm going to have a little bit of water now. So I'm going to stay for about till the top of the hour. So it's almost 9 o'clock. So about 10 more minutes. So get in your questions. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. This has been great. I always enjoy doing this. I always enjoy your questions and about everything, about travel, about me. So I appreciate you guys showing up. And I want to thanks again, Ivan, for the super sticker. I don't get those very often. I don't know if I've ever gotten you might be the first one. I've gotten like super chats and things, but I don't think I've ever gotten a super sticker. So thank you. I don't get those very often, so I'm always shocked when I do. So yeah. So if you've missed a couple of videos, so the last week's video was, what was last week's video? Last week was Qatar. Wow. I'm tired. It's getting better. I'm definitely like getting better. But yeah, like coming back from the US for 2 weeks with jet lag and then going immediately to work full time, basically. It's like nonstop when I'm there. So um I got a massage last week because I've had a lot of shoulder pain from like work and stuff. So I'm going again tomorrow. So I am working on helping myself be better. So oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy hearing my experiences. I love hearing about other people's travel plans and their questions, and it's always interesting. So yeah, no worries, Ivan. I'm definitely not stopping. There will be an Athens video next week, kind of just like a week in my life. Actually, that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you guys, and I forgot till just now. Um, do you guys want to see more of like just my daily like life? Obviously, not sitting here at my desk working, but like um, just like things I run around to do. That's kind of what I filmed this week. Just going to and from places and eating out, running errands. Some things I can't show because it's in my neighborhood and I don't want people to know exactly where I live. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make an effort to do more of those around my neighborhood. Um, so yeah, let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. Okay, yeah, I was actually so tomorrow I'm going to my Key. I was actually gonna show egg prices because I know that egg prices in the US because of bird flu have gone crazy. And I wanna kind of compare them to the grocery store prices because 'cause I've always thought eggs in the grocery stores here are insanely expensive. Um, so yeah, I'll do that. I need to go to the supermarket too, so I'll try to show you some of that as well. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Panayota. Thank you so much. I know I'm not saying your name correctly because I Greek names are like so difficult for me. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Um, Probably not. I mean, I enjoy going to Easter and stuff, but my Greek is not good enough to understand what's happening, and I'm not very religious, so I respect it, and I think people who have amazing faith is just something to sort of I highly respect that. I think it's made like right now is Ramadan, and I'm seeing all these people, fasting, and I just think it's an amazing thing to see dedication. And obviously, Greeks are fasting right now too because it's Lent, and it's just sort of it always amazes me to have that much faith. I was raised in a fairly I wouldn't say fairly religious, but I was brought up going to church. But anyway, so yes. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you guys want to see like daily content. Now, I'm not going to show you guys like me working because it's just me sitting here at this desk. So you love to see the neighborhoods. Okay, yeah, I like to try to film. So I've been trying to film a lot more like while I'm on the bus, um, just to kind of give you an idea of what like I'm seeing. So I hope that's enjoyable. So in the next couple of videos, let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. Yeah, so tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to the Lake Key tomorrow, so, um, yeah, I will try to show you that and the prices. I'm not really good about tracking, like, how much I spend, but I need to be better about that. So I just take my change and run off. So I do know enough Greek now, yay, that when they tell me the total in Greek, I know it. So and this week's lesson was how to tell people, like, what time it is. So, yeah, I'm getting there. So drive fast, speak. Yeah, not everybody speaks fast, and not everybody drives fast. But yeah, and I'm like, so thank you. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna spend the Easter here in Athens, but I think that'll be a nice change. I think I'll enjoy it a little bit more because I always feel like when I go to the islands, I feel this pressure to like see everything. But in Athens, I know everything. Well, I don't know everything, but I know a lot, so I can just enjoy the experience. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to Easter, and I'm gonna try to go to the big cathedral on Metropolis Street for the Easter this year because I haven't done that here. I've only gone to a small church. Um, I was tempted to go to the church in my neighborhood, but it's too close to my house, like in the sense that I don't want to show that. So, oh, good, because that's what this week's video is. Like, I've done a lot this week, which I'm pretty much a homebody when I'm here. So, because I've had Greek lessons and book club, and tomorrow I'm going to the Laiki and getting a massage, like I'm out more than normal. So, yeah. What time is it? It's almost 9. It's 8:55. So. Uh, I have a giant jar, but it's about halfway gone. I brought back with me from Christmas. Surprisingly, it's already halfway gone. And somebody brought me one last summer. I love that you guys all know this too. Like, it's hilarious to me. So, ti ora ine tora ine octo penita exi p.m. I don't, it's funny because here they use military time, but they don't do it when they're telling you the time. So you could also say, oh no, signomi, that's not correct. It's octo que penida exi. Or you could say enea, whatever, 4 minutes till. So Explorer One, what company is that? I've never heard of that. And where's it going? Tell me more. Thank you. Numbers I've finally gotten to. And yeah. I don't want to open a store. I want to eat it all. I'm trying to get in better shape and also lose some weight. I should not be eating so much peanut butter. So I'm trying to like balance my eating and stuff. And in fact, I have my yoga mat laid out because after this, I'm going to do some yoga for my stress. Now, so that's not what my Greek teacher said. It's not in the book either. So para pende is if you're saying like if it's 5 minutes till. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's what you're saying. 5 minutes till. Thank you, Dino. Yeah. So if you were gonna say enea, like it's 5 minutes to 9, you would say enea para pende. So yes, I learned that yesterday. Not yesterday, Tuesday. And the fact that I'm still retaining it, I am very happy with myself. Yes, you're going to teach me how to do a satay. So Antonio's my sailing friend, and so he always, when he comes, he cooks for me. He's a very good cook. So you're going to expand out and make me peanut butter satay because you've never made me that. Come on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a good option. Like pick a base and stay there. Like when I go to Naxos, that's what I do. I always stay in Hora and just go out from there. But it's just a matter of preference. So if you don't mind driving a lot, it's a good option. Like yeah, actually Antonio's been to Crete. He sailed there. Crazy person. So can grill and yeah, if you can get the barbecue to work. So oh no, it's totally fine. Like I appreciate it because that made me think about it and do it. So it's totally fine. Now, if you ask me to say like anything else, I might be in trouble. But yeah, so I need to practice more with strangers because when I see people I know, I get even more nervous, like because I'm like, I don't want to make a mistake. And so I get embarrassed. Barkalon, Kalinikta, and yes, I had a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thanks again for the super sticker. So, all right, I'm going to give a 2-minute warning, and then I'm going to go. So, because it's like I said, it's 9, and not that it's late for me, but I've done these where I've talked for 2 hours and then my voice hurts. So, Was it Elfonisa Beach on Crete that was named? I thought it was Balos. I need to check that. Ah, okay. Oh, that'll be nice. Oh, you get to go Skiathos and Bola. Oh, that'll be nice. So does it end? It ends in Istanbul. Wait. Oh, it ends in Istanbul. Oh, that's fabulous. I would actually sign up for Aegean's emails because they send emails all the time when they have sales. In fact, I got one this week. So I would highly recommend because they don't announce them too far in advance. It's like sometimes they send it out and it's like it starts today. So I would recommend like do it for them and for Sky Express because they usually like if one announces one, the other one will announce one. So it's always good to know. So I'll have to look. You too, Alex. I appreciate you coming, and I'm so glad that everybody. Hi, Kyriakos. Thank you so much all for coming. I'll try to do a few more of these before the summer. Okay. It must be. Is it a smaller cruise line? I imagine. So. Okay, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate all of you coming and talking and asking me questions. Like, I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. I always enjoy these. So I will see you next time. I have not. It's on my list. So I haven't been to Rhodes, so I can't give you any advice, unfortunately. So, but everybody loves it. So enjoy. The beaches are supposed to be great. So, and hopefully the weather will be nicer there. All right. Kalinita, everyone. No, Kalinito Olos. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Bye, guys. If